So, it's Christmas yet again as we do our Boxing Day fixtures for the EFL 2025 and it starts right now. Hi again, it's me. Today we're doing my EFL Boxing Day 2025 set of fixtures predictions. Yeah, who type really the last time of the day, I guess, is at least. I'm gonna go something, since it's Christmas, something like today, if we're gonna that'll be nice, and it'll be nice for Christmas, and yet make sure you subscribe out there. Actually, trying to go subs up to 200 subs by New Year's. If you get over doing 2 things gold, and yep, no messing about with the 12:30 lunchtime kickoff in the championship. Birmingham Derby now. Ooh, episode of the game to watch really. Not to mention this game is also going to be aired on Sky Showcase, and yeah, it's on a lot of channels on Sky, so this could be a good game to watch really. And not the last time a game was aired on Sky Showcase, it had like goals galore, so we might get something like that. But Birmingham, in their last game, it was against Sheffield United away. They lost 3-0 to Sheffield United, and they fall down to 14th again in the bottom half again. So, and for Derby are up to 12th, drawing 1 on Portsmouth, but it's going to be very tight. But I think there's going to be goals in this one. I'm going to go for a goal fest for the first game in the Boxing Day set. A 4-3 win to Birmingham for this one. We're going to have goals galore in this one. And then to the 1 o'clock kickoff now. Millwall versus Ipswich now. Ipswich welcomes into the den at Millwall. It is 6th versus 3rd. And Ipswich beat Sheffield Wednesday 3-1. I didn't see the 2 goals, but I saw the latest goal on Soccer Saturday because I was out getting my eyes tested. But yep. That's the game. It's a game to watch really. Millwall. I've been heard they've been getting a lot of injuries recently, and it's the worst time to get them. It's probably the worst time to get injuries, and especially for players getting called up for the Africans. That's probably the worst time for clubs, especially Sunderland, the Prem, because they're doing quite well. But back to the Millwall game. It's been a very tight game to watch, really. I remember one time we faced them, we floored them 4-0, and we might do something like that, but it's gonna be a tight game, but I think we'll win it here. A 2-1 win to Ipswich for this one. Then to the 3 o'clock kickoffs now. Stoke versus Preston now. Ooh, 8th versus 5th. Who is hype? This could be two of the underdogs up there. And Preston had to snatch at the end to get a point against Ugly at Deepdale on Saturday. And Stoke losing to Watford on Saturday, so that's kind of embarrassing for Stoke. And Stoke are really dipping in form, or crushing in form. It's kind of concerning for Stoke. It's going to be a tight one. I'm going to go for a tight fence. A tight 1 or draw for this one at Stoke. Then Leicester taking Watford now. Leicester. Ooh, Leicester. That's karma for you, Leicester. You floored us 3-1 at the King Power. Then you went to Loftus Road and get floored by QPR. Embarrassing. That's embarrassing for Leicester. And Leicester are down to 13th and they're spending 13th over Christmas. Think about that. Last time you were in the championship, you spent top of the table for over Christmas, and you were there for like most of the, and you're up top of the table for like nearly 90% of the season. And it's gonna be a good game to watch. Really, it's gonna be very tight. One time they faced off each other. It was 2013 in the playoffs. It was historic. Troy Deeney was the man that scored the winning goal, and Figurage Road erupted. What fan base that was, and what a game it was. But it's a very tight game to watch, really. But I think that Watford could beat Leicester here. I think they could. A 2-1 win to Watford for this one. Then the Middlesbrough and Blackburn now. Ooh, Middlesbrough losing 2-0 to Bristol City. Oh, saw that coming. I did. But I said 2-1 Bristol City, I said 2-1 Bristol City, not 2-0. But who cares? I saw that coming. Bristol City beating Middlesbrough 2-0. And Middlesbrough is down to still at second, but there now. The gap's now closed by them and Ipswich. Absolute W. And Blackburn winning 2-0 against Millwall on Saturday, so that's W's from them. But it's really a very tight game to watch, really. It's really very tight. Blackburn might be turning in the corner of form. I think they could get something at the Riverside here. I think they could. I tell you, a tight 1-1 draw, but Blackburn will be the better team for this one. Then the Oxford team will start them now. Ooh, it's a good game to watch, really. Oxford, when Ipswich and Leicester went to Oxford, the Oxford has collected 4 points off of them two, and that win was against Ipswich. Why Ipswich they could have collected? Why can't they do it to Leicester? Why can't they do it to Leicester? Leicester's been worse. Leicester, I think they've been probably the worst out of the 3 relegated teams from last in the Prem, from Leicester, Ipswich, and Southampton. I think they've been one of the worst ones because look at them in the table, Leicester, but Southampton, they went riot mode at full time against Coventry, but it felt like a loss for Southampton because they had to pick up a 1-1 draw against 10-man Coventry. They could have won that 2-1, but no. They had to be Coventry holding Southampton 1-1 draw while Coventry was down 10 men and Oxford stuck at 22nd, but it's going to be a tight game. But I think Oxford's still a snatch something against a relegated team again. They're gonna go unbeaten between the 3 relegated teams at home. It's gonna be a 2-2 draw at Oxford. And then down to League One now in a relegation battle, 22nd versus 23rd. Blackpool versus Doncaster. Doncaster getting smoked by Plymouth 5-1. Oh my days, who saw that coming? Who saw that coming? I didn't, and Blackpool won 2-0. That's quite nice for them. That's quite nice. Especially the Grinch. Especially they had a show at Wigan, which we'll get on to them in a minute. And it's a really good game to watch, really, in the relegation battle. It's a very tight one. Doncaster, 1 league win out of 14 league games for Doncaster, and Blackpool, they're getting there. Once they get going, they're going to get going. And I really think they're going to get going here. I'm thinking of a 2-0 win to Blackpool for this one in this relegation tussle clash. And then the Stockport taking on Lincoln now. Ooh, we've been expecting a full house at Edgley Park for this big clash in League One. And who is hyped? It is 5th versus 2nd. Lincoln beat Cardiff 2-1 in the weekend. That is really impressive for Lincoln. And they could be a real dark horse in League One this season. And they really are. You've got to give credit to Lincoln, really. You have to, really, to be honest. And Stockport winning 2-1 against Mansfield for the first time at Mansfield since 1980, since the 80s. So, well on the Stockport there. But it's really a game to watch, really. I'm going to go for another 2-2 draw for this one at Edgley Park. It's going to be a great game to watch. Then the Cardiff took on Exeter now. Ooh, Cardiff. Cardiff has been quite concerning recently. They conceded 8 goals in 3 matches in all competitions in a row. And yeah, they're still top of the table, but they might not be for long if they're going to play like this. But in all competitions, they considered 8. But you lost 2 in all competitions. One of them, it was a guaranteed you had to, but it was, etc. But yeah, Exeter smashed Barnsley 3-0. Who saw that coming? Who blew and saw that coming? I didn't. Oh, I did not. But it's really a tight game to watch, really. Exeter will pull off a good fight against Cardiff, but Cardiff, I think they'll win here. A 1-0 win to Cardiff for this one. And then the Plymouth taking on Reading now. Oh, both teams are neighbours in the league. 17th take on 15th. At the start of the season, both Plymouth and Reading were in the relegation battle, and they all had 3 out of 3 defeats. One of them went on to lose 4 in a row, and one of them and one of them sacked their manager in October. And yeah, it's really a tight game to watch, really. Plymouth is cooking now. I think they are cooking. Total hat-trick against Doncaster in the weekend. I have informed my fantasy team this Christmas game week. And who is hyped for this one? It's a really good game to watch, really. I think that Plymouth, I think they're going to win here against Reading. Reading will pull off a good fight, but they had a good game against Luton on Thursday. But with an 8-day rest, I think Plymouth might turn up great here. I think a 2-1 win to Plymouth. They're going to climb up the table. And Reading. And heading to Luton to Wickham now. This could have been the Matt Bloomfield derby. It ain't, because Matt Bloomfield got sacked by Luton, and Luton have been quite recently. They've been quite recently in League One, but let's just say they had a better season than last season in the Championship, should we say? Yeah, for Luton. Luton lost 3-1 to Reading on Thursday night, so they're going to get an 8-day rest. So, and Wickham beat the Bolton 2-1. So happy days for Wickham, but it's going to be a very tight game to watch. Really, it's going to be tight. I'm going to go. I think Luton will get another draw here. I think a 1-1 draw at Kenilworth Road. And then the Peterborough take on Leighton Orient now. Ooh, Peterborough's up to 16th. No, let me tell you, all the big teams on League One that started quite bad in the relegation, bad list at the start of this season, they're all out starting to climb up the table at the exact same time, like Plymouth and Reading, and along with Peterborough and Leighton Orient is up there. Leighton Orient is up there, beating Bradford 2-1 on the weekend. So yeah, it's gonna be a good game to watch. Really, it's gonna be very tight, but I think that Peterborough will make it 4 wins in a row in the league. A 2-1 win to Peterborough for this one. Then the Bradford take on Wigan now. Ooh, Wigan, what put it off a show before kickoff. While Santa and the Grinch in their play, as the Grinch stole the football and just went out. And Santa was placing the ball in the you haven't already. I put the link in the description for the video if you want to see the video and the short. Yeah, but the link is in the description. But yeah, it's gonna be a game to watch. Really, Bradford lost 2-1 to Leighton Orient in the weekend, so it's gonna be a very tight game to watch. Really, it's gonna be very tight. I think a 2-1 win to Bradford this one. And heading into League 2 now with a big clash at the stadium of MK. MK Dons take on Swindon now. Swindon is joint top with Walsall over Christmas, but should we say this? Just because that Swindon is top of the table, right above Walsall on goal difference. Yep, Swindon beat the Crawley 1-0 to go joint top with Walsall for over Christmas. And MK Dons battered Harrogate like a fish 4-0 to get me 13 points in the EFL fantasy game. Absolute WMK Dons. But this time, MK Dons will sadly lose to Swindon. But MK Dons will pull off a good fight. They'll pull off a good fight, but it's very tight. But I think that Swindon won here. Very tight. It's really a tight game. I'm thinking of a 2-1 win to Swindon for this one. And then Chesterfield from Notts County now. It's a North Midlands derby now. I think it's a Lincolnshire, Nottinghamshire derby. Yeah, it's a Nottinghamshire derby now. It's a good game to watch, really. I remember the last time I met at Chesterfield, it was a 2-2 draw at Chesterfield, and they played each other in the playoff final 2 seasons ago, and it happened to be 2-2, and Notts County got promoted like 2 seasons ago, and yeah, etc. and just stop yapping now. But it's a really good game to watch, really. Both are, yeah, it's Notts County are 4th, Chesterfield are 7th. Notts County pulled off a 0-0 draw against Walsall, so yeah, Notts County beat Walsall 1-0, and Notts County was spending top of the table over Christmas, and I think Swindon will be second and Walsall will be third. Yeah, because of goal difference and goals scored. Swindon scored more goals than Walsall recently at the stage of the season. But yeah, it's a very good game to watch, really. It's really tight. I'm going to go for another 2-2 draw at Chesterfield. Then heading into Walsall to Crew now. Walsall will be joining top with Swindon over Christmas. And yeah, now against Crew, who actually ended up drawing 1 on the Bristol Rovers on Friday night, and to end Bristol Rovers' losing streak in the league. And yeah, it's a really good game to watch, really. I think Walsall will win here, despite drawing 0-0 with Notts County in the top 2 clash in the weekend. But I think they'll win here. They'll get another clean sheet here again. But I think Walsall will probably pull it off at the end. A 1-0 win to Walsall, a smash and grab for Walsall. Then the Bristol Rovers and Bromley now. This looks like a good game to watch, really. Bristol Rovers, Steve Evans' first home match with Bristol Rovers, and they ended their losing run to a 1-1 draw at Crewe on Friday night. And Bromley, 5 wins in a row, they are unbeaten at home, and they're up to 3rd. They're spelling Christmas in the top 3. Imagine the teams they were up to 1st, and they're spending top of the table at Christmas. Imagine the scenes, that would have been incredible for Bromley. But who knows, really, it's a really good game to watch, really. I think there's going to be goals here, but it could go either way. With 5 goals, I think that Bromley will probably edge it. 3-2 win to Bromley for this one. It's going to be a great game to watch, I can tell you that. It's going to be a great game. And then the Grimsby are going to Oldham now. Ooh, Grimsby is falling down the table. No wins in 7 in the form, I think. No, yeah, I don't know. But Oldham, Mally Mellon scored a hat-trick against Tranmere in the weekend. That's the W's for him. Should have had him in my fantasy team. If you warned me, I would have put him in my fantasy team. Then I went, I would have gone like that. Yeah, etc. Yeah. But actually, again, what's really that both teams are neighbours in the table. It's gonna be a tight game. It's gonna be very tight. It's gonna be a tight 1-1 draw for this one at Grimsby. Then the Gillingham taking Cambridge now. Ooh, Gillingham. They are slipping. No, 1 win in 14 now in the league for Gillingham. And that win came from Bristol Rovers at home. And they beat them 1-0. So this is kind of worrying scenes for Gillingham. And they've slipped out of the playoff picture. And 12th place. Yeah, it's concerning that Cambridge are up to 8, beat Accrington 2-0 on Friday night, so it's going to be a tight game. It's going to be tight. I think they'll avoid a defeat here. It's going to be another draw for Gillingham. I think a 2-2 draw at Gillingham. And then the Tottenham taking Shrewsbury now. Ooh, both teams started the season as Dog S. And now they're doing quite alright, especially Tottenham. Tottenham was doing quite well. Up to 18, beat the Barrow 2-1 on Friday night. And Shrewsbury, yeah, let's just say this. They've done better than they did at the start. Let's just say that. But they're spending Christmas at 20th. And the highest out of the 3 between Cornwall and Bristol Rovers. And it's going to be a tight game to watch. It's going to be very tight. It's going to be very tight. It's going to be really, really tight. It's going to be very, yeah. I think a 1-1 draw. It's going to be a very tight one, but it could go either way. Now, we're in Wrexham in the Racecourse Stadium for the 5:30 kickoff as our host. Wrexham take on Sheffield United now. Sheffield United smoked Birmingham from start to finish at Bramall Lane on Saturday, and Wrexham, it was heartbreak for them on the Welsh Derby on Friday night. It's been 1-0 up, and he bottled it at the very end. And Onko was full of a good game, but that one mess up he did at the end costed it, losing 2-1 on Swansea on Friday night. That was kind of heartbreaking for Wrexham. But the bright side is Wrexham didn't even move anywhere in the table. They just stayed 15th. But it's going to be a very tight game to watch, really. It's going to be very tight. Last time I met at the Racecourse, it was a 3-3 draw in the FA Cup, and Wrexham was almost going to go through, but sadly, Sheffield United stole the show in the replay, and they beat them 3-1. And it was a very good FA Cup run that time that Wrexham did when they played Sheffield United. And they also played each other in the Carabao Cup, and Sheffield United beat Wrexham 4-2. So it's a very good game to watch, really. Ever since them two last met, Wrexham has changed the most. So I have there's going to be goals here. We could have a 3-3 draw, but I'm going to go for this. A 2-2 draw at the Racecourse. But yeah, if you are wondering, here is the rest of my predictions for Boxing Day and the fantasy team for this game week right here. And if it's my predictions, you can comment down below on what your predictions are going to be. And if you thanks for this video, I've enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you guys later. Bye! And a Merry Christmas to everyone.